God, look at how dusty this thing is. Gave it a nice little car wash there. I've had this thing since I was 15 years old. I mean, when I got it, it was the year 2003. So the C5 was still the latest generation. It was the Corvette of the day. The C6 hadn't been released yet. Anyways, we were taking a trip to Long Island. I remember as a family. It was me, my brother, my cousin, and my aunt and her boyfriend at the time, who was a huge car enthusiast. So we really got along with him. And I remember like thinking like, you know, how cool it was that he had a Camaro and all that. But anyways, he's the one that got this for me. It is my favorite generation. Anyways, now we have the C8. How do I feel about that? So basically, you know, it's a mid-engine configuration. I like the idea, and because Corvette's been attempting to release, it's not a new idea. They've been, you know, they've been trying to come out with mid-engine Corvettes since, you know, for like half a century. A lot of them nearly made a production, but anyways, finally got one. Honestly, I don't like the design. I really don't like the design. I mean, it could have looked a whole lot better. Now, let's start with the hood. The hood, the front, the way it slopes, it doesn't slope down as much as I would like. If it did, it would give the car an overall better look. It just doesn't work with the rest of the car. It doesn't sync well. The front, the tail, the headlights, terrible. The front end, the grille, it's kind of alright. The side view of the car, I don't like it. It just looks terrible. The rear fender, the front fender, the lines, it just doesn't go well with, you know, with one another. And just like the wheels of the car, the rims, I don't like those either, honestly. The tail, I think the rear end of the car is the worst part. The tail lights, that's just the, you know, the ugly ass spoiler that's not placed well. The square exhaust tips, it's just, nah, it's not working for me, honestly. It's just, I expected a better overall look, so it's a bit of a disappointment for me. I mean, it's just my opinion. I understand if you guys want to roast me in the comment section, please go ahead. But yeah, it's just how I feel about the exterior design of the car. I don't really know, honestly, why they did it that way. So, I mean, obviously, you know, I'm just like speaking out of ignorance here. But anyways, go into the interior. The interior is actually pretty decent. There's a lot of buttons, but I do like it. It's just, you know, you have this analog feel. There is a lot of buttons, and the reason why people are actually criticizing the interior, but I do like it. You know, what I don't like is just like the center console. It basically looks like they just took an iPad and just said, "Fuck it, bam." But I will admit that it is a technological marvel. The C8. It really is a masterpiece. It broke the internet. A lot of people love it. It's got a, you know, as many of you know, is a mid-engine configuration, 6.2 liter LT1 straight out of the C7 Stingray. Of course, it's been reworked to be able to, you know, fit into work as a mid-engine configuration. You know, it's got 490 horsepower standard. The performance package, I believe it's the ZL1 package. I could be wrong. That adds 5 more horsepower to it. So it's 495 with that. It's got an 8-speed automatic transmission, you know, paddle shift. Honestly, I do like that. You know, I do like manual gearboxes, but this is, I think this is the gearbox is the reason why, despite having less than 500 horsepower, the car can reach 0 to 60 in almost 2.9, like less than 3 seconds, almost as quick as the ZR1, and that's pretty impressive. So I think the gearing, the short gearings, because of how many gears this transmission has, probably helps with that. So I do like that part of it. I hope that one day they will offer it with a 6-speed manual transmission. That'll be nice too. Interior, the instrument cluster, it's got 2 digital displays. Again, you gotta move with the times. It's the digital age, but it would have been nice if it had an analog speedometer and tachometer. This thing has coilover suspensions. You know, the magnetic ride suspensions available. It's got 4 different modes. It's got a Z mode, you know, where you can actually adjust, I think, basically customize any aspect of the car's mechanics to what you want. and that I think is a pretty cool thing. Other than that, I don't really know much about it, much else about the car. I'm pretty sure you guys have read about the technical details that have been released so far. It's just my excuse. It's just my way of saying I completely forgot most of the shit I read already. But yeah, overall, I mean, I do like the concept of it, but it's just like the design really kills me. I'm not feeling it. That's just how I feel about it. But my favorite generation is definitely this, because I grew up with this generation. I grew up with the C4 generation, so those generations I really do like. The C6 I like as well. The C7, the design of the C7 is amazing. I love it. The only reason, I mean, if I was to pick any Corvette, it would be this, because it takes me back. It's a pretty cool design, and I grew up with it. I've always been a big Corvette fan. I would actually get one of these, honestly. I'd get a C5 Corvette, but the reason why I don't is because I live in Brooklyn, and it's just not a car-friendly city. It's just most of us live in apartment buildings out here, and they don't have garages. As a result, parking's really hard to find, and even if you are lucky enough to find one at the end of the night when you're coming home from work and you spend 30 minutes looking around for parking, and you do find one, your car is always at risk of getting sideswiped. The drivers are very aggressive here as well, just to add into that. Plus, you don't really have a whole lot of space or back rows to be able to open it up. So you just there's plenty of Corvettes in my neighborhood, but you can't enjoy a sports car out here. So that's the reason why I don't have one. The insurance is pretty ridiculous, in Brooklyn. I think it's the most expensive borough out of the 5 boroughs in the city. But anyways, yeah, so that's the reason why I don't have one. If I was living in the suburbs, I would definitely have myself a C5 or a C7, even a C7. The C7s are nice. I might even, I would have even picked up one of those. But anyways, yeah, so I'm going to shut up now. Appreciate you listening to me. I'm pretty sure you guys are busy, so I'll let you go.